No matter what you face, shine your light all around in every place. Let the whole world see all that you can be. Let your soul fire shine. Shine your light, shine your light wherever you may go. Shine your light all around in every place. Let the whole world see all that you can be. Let your soul fire shine. Shine your light. No matter what you face, shine your light all around in every place. Let the whole world see all that you can be. Let your soul fire shine. Shine your light. No matter what you face, shine your light all around in every place. Let the whole world see all that you can be. Let your soul fire shine. Shine your light. No matter what you face, shine your light all around in every place. Let the whole world see all that you can be. Let your soul fire shine. Let your soul fire shine. Let your soul fire shine.
Good morning, everyone. Aloha, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. My name is Michelle LeMay, and I'm on the Board of Trustees, and I'm also a licensed CSL practitioner, and I get to share all the goodies that we've got going on. But first, being the last Sunday of the month, we want to celebrate anybody who had a birthday in October. Raise your hand, stand up. I know. Sue Barbara. Awesome. All right, so let's sing for you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And you.
Happy birthday, dear October. Happy birthday to you.
Woo! Beautiful. Happy birthday, all our October folks. And please join us afterwards for cake, which I do believe, did you guys bring the cake? Reverend Diane and Sue brought the cake today. So thank you for that, and join us afterwards for cake. It's chocolate cake, Ron is yelling from the back. Fabulous. All right. So a few things we've got going on this week, but also a separate announcement. There was a key that was found in the parking lot that looks like a safety deposit box key. So if you're missing a key, Miss Nancy, if you raise your hand. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you for that. Nancy has the key if you feel like you have lost your, it looks like a safety deposit box key. So please check for that. And then on Tuesday, Stephanie Starrett, here out front, also known as Star, is going to be doing our monthly New Thought meet and greet. And she's going to be spending the time speaking about Neville Goddard, who is a metaphysician that is just been dear to your heart, and I know really brought Stephanie into this philosophy. So she's going to share all about Neville Goddard with us on Tuesday, which is 6:30 to 8 o'clock. So lots happening there. And then next week, next Sunday, just after service, will join us for Rap with the Revs. It's our monthly gathering to find out how our spiritual journey. So we get to learn about the Revs and how CSL started, but also how each of you were brought here to CSL. So please join us directly after service for that. And then on November 6th is election day, so we're just saying to vote. And then afterwards, you can come and join Reverend Diane with a beautiful meditation evening. We figured that it would be fitting for that particular day to join together in beautiful meditation. So that's going to be at 6:30 on Tuesday, November 6th. And then we've got lots happening in November, so definitely make sure you mark your calendars. Our biggest is we have Reverend Walt, who is one of the Malama team, welcoming you today. He is doing a workshop, and it's called These Times Call for Revolutionary Agreements. So there's a flyer out back. There's also a sign-up sheet, and then next week Walt will actually come up and speak about what he will be doing. But you can get the book in the bookstore, and the book is by Marion Head, who comes here. They spend a lot of their time here, Marion and Glenn. So it's based on Marion's book. So we've got great things happening in November. And then as part of what we do here is we do share some different community events in our outreach program. And then we have people who outreach to us once in a while. So today, happening at the Marriott, there's a wonderful talk by a Holocaust survivor. His name is Dr. Jacob Eisenbach. He's 92, and he's touring around 95. Okay. My thing says 92, 90. He's in his 90s.
It's important when it gets to that time.
Right, Ruth? Yeah. So he will be sharing his story of surviving the Holocaust, but he's also, the talk itself is called The Consequences of Intolerance. So in these times, it's very important, very critical. So that's going to be at the Marriott tonight at 5. All right, well, thank you for your kind attention, everyone, and I'd like to introduce Reverend Rita and Reverend Patrick.
Yay!
Must I direct everything at this? It's like, applause. There we go.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Michelle.
everybody, again. And we're going to start by lighting our peace candle. So take a deep breath and center in, and we'll honor the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. For those of you who don't know, had a tragic event there yesterday with a hate crime. I know. And our hearts are filled with sorrow and sadness for the people there that lost people. And we just take a moment in silence for peace and for them, and to let that peace radiate out into the world.
So let's just take this moment to remember who we are at all times, no matter what is occurring, that love is that force that moves through everything, that is that foundation, that thing called love, the bottom to all grief. What I know in this moment is that all of these beautiful, beautiful spirits that have transitioned into something even bigger, I know that we bless them. We bless them and their families, and we know that whatever is needed to support and to love the families, to support all of us that are sharing the wounds of this tragedy that has taken place in Pittsburgh. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that no matter what is occurring, I stay in love. I stay in love. I know that that is the only beacon of light that can serve anyone, any place, anything in this moment. So I say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to remember who and what I am, to remember who and what each and every one of us is, to remember who these beautiful spirits who have taken flight, who they are, that nothing can ever take away that pure energy that has never, ever, ever been touched by anything but good. So knowing that, I say mahalo. I release it. I let it go as we affirm together as one in family. And so it is.
So it is.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everybody, for taking that moment. So here we are in the Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, where we practice the science of mind and spirit, which is of great assistance to me at times like this, because it lets me know that no matter what is occurring, the divine is present there, and there is, as Patrick said in his prayer, a bottom to every grief, because we're being held by that divine working through and as us at all times, and that we can assist others by knowing when they can't know, by praying and holding that consciousness. And as we do that, we really do make a difference in the world. So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. You know, life, it's filled with it all. And it all needs to be celebrated. All of it. The tears, the laughter. It doesn't matter. It is all life. So today I am so glad that we have a sanctuary that we can come to, that we can be together in times of grief, in times of joy, in times of birth, that we can come together and know that there is a place, and I repeat, a safe place. No matter what, it is safe. No matter what, it is safe. So, who's here for the very first time? And don't try to hide from us, because we see shells. We know shells are around your neck. So we have two beautiful people I see over there. It's okay. It's the
first time in this space.
That's right. So anyway, let's get busy knowing what we know. So anyway, you know that we know you, Judith and Eric. We do know you from the mainland, and we go way back. So I have lots to tell about you personally to everybody here. And so therefore, we'll start with Judith. No, I'm just kidding. We actually know something about everybody here that is new for the first time. What is it? Let's let them know. You are magnificent. Oh, you are relieved, aren't you? Yes. So here we go. So you're magnificent. And the reason we know that is because why? Because we know it about ourselves. Same with peace, same with love. You can't know it about anyone else until you know it about yourself. So shall we say it together? I am magnificent. Now, if you'll look back at the skeleton over there by the, yes, that T-shirt, just to let you know, has a second time around. He's had it since junior high, and he is still wearing it on Halloween. So this is Rob, who allows everyone to see what goes on here at CSL Kauai by live streaming. So there's a lot of people watching. I know you're there, and I know some people on the island are there because you didn't want to get out of bed because you went to October thing last night, that singing thing. But we love you. So let's let them all know who they are. You are magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right, up, down. I don't care. Just let somebody know how magnificent they are. You're magnificent. You're magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Barbara's magnificent. And then
magnificent.
Luis was at the party, and he's still here today.
You are magnificent.
You are, George is magnificent. I can't. Okay, let's get up on our magnificent feet and let's have
And
our
let's
opening
welcome
song
Barbara
with
Davis.
Barbara Davis.
Singing a song written by Karen Mitchell, inspired by the words of Emma Curtis Hopkins.
My good is my God is my good. All the good there is belongs to me. My good is my God is my good. All the good there is belongs to me. That's my truth with a capital T. It's all about living free. My good is my God. My good is my God. I have all I'll ever need. My good is my God. My joy is my good is my joy. All the joy there is belongs to me. My joy is my good is my joy. All the joy I seek belongs to me. That's my truth with a capital T. It's all about living free. My good is my God. My good is my God. I have all I'll ever need. My good is my God.
So what I know in this moment, I just have to laugh. Because you know why? Because God laughs. Good laughs through me and as you. So what I know about this day filled with joy, filled with love, filled with that remembrance of who and what we are in every moment. And that is that divine frequency that is vibrating at its highest state. And so with my eyes wide open, looking out at family, what I know is that today is the day, this is the moment. This is the moment we remember who we are and keep that memory going. This is the day that we wake up from any kind of amnesia, any kind of self-imposed coma, and allow the Spirit to move through us as us. It's the only way through. It's the only way out. It is the only way around is love. And love is moving through each and every one of us right here and right now. I declare it. I know it. I accept it. I just breathe it because what I know is that good is breathing through me as me right here. Speaking through this mic is spirit right here moving through each and every one of us. So I bless it. I know it as this service continues to go in absolute celebration of love. I just say yes. Can I hear yes? Yes. And together we say, and so it is.
My love is my good is my love. All the love there is belongs to me. My good is my love is my good. All the love I seek belongs to me. That's my truth with a capital T. It's all about living free. My truth is my God. My good is my God. I have all I'll ever need. My good is my God. My good is my God. My good is my God.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Diane Decker, your outreach staff minister here at Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, and I want to invite you now to join me for meditation. In honor of Stephanie's talk on Neville Goddard, I want to bring you just a taste of who this person was who so informed our beliefs and what we know to be true. There must be no conflict in your mind when you are praying. Turn from what is to what ought to be. And by the universal law, you will realize your desire. There must be no conflict in your mind when you are praying. Turn from what is to what ought to be. And by the universal law, you will realize your desire. And so we just settle into this time of conscious communion with the one power that fulfills our desires. must be no conflict in your mind when you are praying. Turn from what is to what ought to be, and universal law will realize your desire. As we stand grounded in this time and this place, we remember the truth. That right where we are, there is one power, one presence, one love, and it is expressing and moving through each and every one of us. And all of life, in fact. It is living us, moving us, breathing us. It is animating us with that very power of spirit that beats our heart, that waves the ocean, that brings the rain and blows the winds. It is all the same thing going on. And it is who we are, too. And so I stand here remembering that truth about each one of us today. Knowing that there is no conflict in my thinking when I am praying. I absolutely remember and know the truth that this power and presence is bringing into effect everything I speak. And so I speak this word for our community today, knowing that grief is replaced with peace of mind and deep comfort. Knowing that lack and limitation are replaced in my mind and the universal mind by the overflowing abundance of spirit moving in and through all the good we see and even what we cannot see. There is only one thing going on, and it is that beautiful supply that meets every need of every plant, animal, and organism on this divine planet that we call home. I speak this word knowing that there is nothing that gets in the way of our creative self-expression because we are God in expression. There is nothing that can block that flow. And so it guides us to do what is ours to do. We are each here on purpose. And so we move from fear to faith, knowing that there's nothing that can get in the way of the universal law of the mind of spirit from acting on our behalf. Through us, as us, we are it. And so I simply release my word knowing that it is done in this moment. There is no conflict in the mind. I absolutely know the truth that each one of us is immersed in God. And so it moves us today in amazing ways. I watch with wonder as the expected and the unexpected happens to bring about our good. Our desires are realized. There is nothing that can get in the way. And so it is. Mahalo.
I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am. I am.
Thank you, Reverend Diane. That was beautiful. Thank you, Barbara. And I just will have to mention that song, I Am That I Am, a little bit. It was written by Etika Luckett and Lisa Ferraro, and Etika Luckett just made her transition this week, if you didn't know that already, but very consciously made her transition as an example to all of us. She sang with her guitar right before she died. She never lost consciousness, and she just left, and she left when she wanted to leave, which was on the full moon. So, yeah, so hold her in the light. Well, she's holding us in the light. I don't think she needs any more light than that, actually. But, and her voice lives on and her music lives on for all of us to listen to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hold on to that quote you read because I might need it. Okay. It's really interesting that you chose that quote. So I want to start with a passage from a book called A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens that was written in the 1800s, right? It was the best of times It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. Sound familiar? So, just bringing that to the present time and other times, we see that we keep reliving the same thing over and over. Now we think it's the worst of times, right? Things are getting more violent, we believe, some of us. We believe that, that there might not be any hope and it's dark. And then there's another part of us that believes that it's the best of times, that there's a planetary shift going on, that there's light in the world that we can embody and become. So here we are, the best of times and the worst of times. But what I know about that, Diane, just read that quote.
There's no conflict in my mind when I am praying. Turn from what is to what ought to be, and by the universal law, you will realize your desire.
Yeah, that's okay. I got the point. There is no conflict in my mind when I am praying. What I see here from this quote and from what we feel, is there's a conflict. Now, when we talk about prayer and the science of mind, recognize that we do not beseech in prayer. We state the truth. We state, as you heard in Diane's prayer, she wasn't beseeching to anybody. She was speaking from within and telling us what is. So there can't be a conflict. We've got to choose right now. In spite of what we're seeing, we have to choose what we want to live. We can't say it's the best of times and the worst of times. We have to believe that it's the best of times, even though it seems like the worst of times. And we have to keep sticking to that and keep persevering through that. The great master teacher Jesus once said, you can't serve two masters, right? God and mammon. You can't have a double-minded mind. Ernest Holmes told us. This quote by Neville Goddard. We can't be doing two things at the same time. It's impossible. We have to choose one or the other. And what I understand from what's going on in the world is, for the most part, we're choosing the other. So now is the time, even though it's like right up in our face, we have to keep choosing that it's the best of times and keep stating that it's the best of times and that love leads the way. And when we can do that and keep doing it in spite of everything, it has to shift. It has to. I mean, it has to. I know it. I claim it. And I understand that it has to. Ernest Holmes, the talk today is about fear and faith, right? We're going to choose fear or faith. We can't have both things. We can't say we have faith and then have fear. It's a double-minded mind. Ernest Holmes wrote, the fear of lack is nothing more than the belief that God does not and will not supply us with whatever we need. Now, we know that's an inner God, and God is the source and substance of our supply. The fear of lack is nothing more than a belief that God will not supply for us, okay? The fear of death, if we fear death, it's a belief that the promises of eternal life may not be true. The fear of loss of health, loss of friends, loss of properties, all arise from the belief that God is not all that we claim. But what is fear? It's nothing more than the negative use of faith. It's nothing more than the negative use of faith. We have faith, but what do we have faith in? Are we using faith negatively, or are we using it for good? Are we using it for things? Faith is the substance, right, of things that we can't see. So do we just automatically go to what we see and say that's the truth? Or do we have the faith to just keep believing and knowing in spite of it all? And I think that is what we're being asked to do over and over and over. And more of us are getting on the train. I know that. We're getting on the train of this idea that this is a time of light. it's interesting, when Etika passed, I didn't feel, for some reason, I didn't feel her mortality. Even before I heard the stories about her and the guitar and all the things that went on, I felt her immortality. I felt immortality so deeply. I have not experienced death, but I felt it so deeply. So it's possible, guys, to just go to that place and commune with Spirit and get your answers for all of this. Your answers, not my answers, your answers. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do, is to not give in to the fear. And does this mean we condone what happened in Pittsburgh and these other events? No. This is a law of liberty, the law of our being, the cause and effect, whatever you want to call it. It is a law of liberty. We get to choose how we use it, but it's not a law of license, Ernest Holmes says. We don't get to use it destructively and expect to get away with it. Things take care of themselves. They do. So we have to trust that too. We have to trust that law in place. That's why we don't have to get into the judgment place and start hating people and pointing our finger at the perpetrators of these crimes and stuff. And we have to hold them in love too. I know that's a really hard thing to say, and a lot of people want to, say no, that's not possible. But what's the alternative? To hate them? We're just hating a part of ourselves by hating them, because everything is a reflection of us. So we have to know the best and highest for that person too, and that's a hard one, especially if you're the person that lost people in this, and we've all lost people because we're all connected, right? But it's the only thing. We can't have a double-minded thing. We can't choose this and then that, and we just can't. And then we have to choose faith over fear, as I said. And Ernest Holmes wrote, in order to have faith, we must have a conviction that all is well. Ugh, how hard is that to do at times like this? We have to have a conviction that all is well, that this is all unfolding as it's supposed to be unfolding, that there's no mistakes. I don't know the whole mystery of life. I don't know why these people had to die. I don't know, but I have to trust the mystery. I have to trust that all is well in spite of it. I can't have a double mind. I can't say it's the best of times and the worst of times. I can't do that anymore. And we have to persist. It says that the principle governing faith is that when the one praying becomes convinced, his prayer will automatically be answered. In other words, persist. There's something called our subconscious that's holding all this other stuff, right? But when our objective mind, our conscious mind, doesn't fight with our subjective mind anymore, our subconscious, that's when the demonstration is made, when we are so convinced that nothing can deter us from our faith. And that's what I think we're being asked to do right now. And it's not the first time that we've been in a situation like this. This is like not new stuff. And obviously, we're not doing something right the other way. So I think that, it's time, guys. It's time. I'm really committed to it myself. And to understand that this principle that I'm talking about, it's not relegated by the past. We can right now change the wheel of causation by thinking new. That's what this whole principle of the science of mind is based in. That right now we can turn away. Yes, we feel our feelings and all of that, but there comes a point when we pray, when we know that we turn away from all of that and we center ourselves in what we know is the truth, which is that God is all there is, and that this is unfolding as it should. And when we can convince our subconscious and our objective mind can agree on that, and really that there's no doubt in our mind anymore, then that's when the shift takes place in our own life, in our own personal affairs, and in a more globally situation like this. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to walk over there because I have a song. But I also want to do a prayer, okay? And for all of these things that I've said. And I believe that it is the best of times, and that the light is here, and that the wisdom is here, and the hope, and all of that we need. And so when I read this quote by Dickens, I just want to know it's the best of times. It's the age of wisdom. It's the epoch of belief. It's the season of light. It's the spring of hope. And that's what I want to know. And that's what I want to stick to. So let's just close our eyes for a moment, if you feel comfortable. And let's just center right now, right here, in this moment, and nowhere else. Let's let go of the past for a moment. Let's just know that we're held in our grief. We're held in our sorrow. But now that we can know that, we can turn within and turn to that place where we are being held. That place of spirit, that place of love, that place of peace that never leaves us no matter what. And right here and right now, what I know about that is we all have that opportunity, that capability because of who and what we are, which is the power and presence of the divine. And I know and claim that as one of us, just one, can do that, that others are lifted at the same time. One alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. That is the truth. So it's not our responsibility to worry about all the other people and what they're thinking. Our only responsibility is our own mind, our own heart, to center in our heart and let our heart lead the way. And I know that we can do that right here and right now. And I do know that as we do, it is the best of times. I claim it and I persist in it. And I know that it is the truth. And so I give gratitude for it. And I release my word. I let it go into law, knowing it is already complete, as we affirm together. And so it is.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when our arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest, and the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage, oh yeah, to reach the unreachable star.
You know, you got to make your point some way. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Well, you just knock them over, don't you? Wow. I won't even say it. How do you follow something like that? Very carefully. Well, just so you'll know, Halloween is coming up, so I had this clever little thing, and how cute that would have been had I not woke up this morning with an entirely different feeling about everything. And so this, by the way, is in our organization, some of the centers do the same titles for all of the centers. That would be an absolute impossibility from where we live, because we are able to shift at a moment's notice when it comes. So this morning, as I was sitting there, it was 5 a.m. or 5:30, I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell, again? What do I talk about again? How do I... And I was falling into that interesting place of going, what the hell am I going to say once again? And I just sat with it. And I realized that beautiful thing called feeling, that beautiful thing called grief, and this idea of faith. And because we have faith, doesn't give us a free ticket out of pain. It doesn't give us a ticket out of grief. That's all a part of it. God doesn't disappear. That energy doesn't disappear because I'm not up to par today. That power, that thing that we talk about, that we believe in, did not disappear when those 11 beautiful spirits were at the mercy of that moment. God didn't disappear, and I started doing some research on, that internet will throw you all over the place, won't it? And I thought, what do you do with this thing called fear and grief and all of this? And everyone's saying, where is God? And you can't be afraid to come out and just say it. Everyone wants to know, where was God? Because if you are at the other side of that, there's a lot of pain, and it's so easy. And the cute little words we can say. I remember doing a wonderful memorial for a young man who's 24. And he was actually killed on this road. The only road. I don't know why I act like it's this road. The only road. And one of the stipulations that Rita, we were called in for a very fast family memorial before the big, 500 up in Honolulu. Because that family needed something. And these were the things that they needed us not to say. You will not say my son is in a better place. You will not say this was for the highest good. You will not say any of those things about my son. Because right now we are in pain. We are in pain. And so it was a beautiful experience because we were allowed to just be. And there was like 30 people out there. And Rita and I are looking at each other. We're kind of new ministers, and we're thinking, whoa, I don't have anything clever to say for you except I'm here for you. Let me be that present of life. And these were real local, beautiful people. And the brothers were just devastated. And so they had this grief, and I remember thinking, and they were all going around and they were talking about him, and the father was just such in grief, and he just said, shit, my son. Oh, I'm sorry, to Rita and I, because we're ministers, of course. And so I let rip every single cuss word that could ever possibly be. I said them all, and I'll spare you, all of them. And everybody who was like this, because there's the holy people, just all of a sudden they were like, whoa, showing me their tats. And it was just, and then the father said, didn't I tell you how fucking wonderful they were? Because we were allowed to be in the grief. This is not a philosophy that says we get to tiptoe around it. I know that's the reputation. And quite frankly, I'm bored with it. I am bored with it. Yes. The inward God, of course. The thing that I'm really getting out of this, too, that how much power we have given to fear. We have given, I wrote this the other day, have we given fear too much power? Has fear become the star of our show? Do we tend to ask for permission from fear before we make our decisions? Are we in deep consultation with fear before we even decide to move through our life? We are examples of the light. And I'm not going to apologize for it ever. This is an opportunity for all of us to grieve with one another. To grieve and say that there's nothing wrong with grief. And I'm very sorry for using the F-bomb, by the way. That just kind of came in my head as I was talking. I was going, did you know that you just said that? That's called inner chat. There is nothing blind about faith. Faith is a choice. Faith is an absolute choice. You either have it, some people say, oh, if I could just have your faith. You do have it. Use it. Yeah. Use it. Or lose it. Did I mention how much I love my job? Yes. Did I ever mention that to any of you? So, back to faith. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I have a dream.
And I have a purple bracelet. That means something personally to me. You know what I love? It's transparency. Because you all love me enough to know exactly what's going on in my mind. Because you've been with me and we're family. And I bless it all. Because I'm reaching 21, day 21 on this. And so there we go. So back to Martin Luther King. He says, what is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive. And that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. Say that again. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. There is no way around this. We say we have fear, can't have fear and faith at the same time. You can't. But we've lived, I believe, the game of ping pong for a little bit too long now. We have to trust a little longer than a few moments. Wouldn't it be nice if things like this that happened yesterday did not occur? But it did. And I just love all of the stuff that says we're about to end. We have to end this hate. We have to end this hate. We cannot and will not end hate if we continue to hate. We can't. How do we say it? How do I say, I am love, and then look at somebody and say that there is no love present? It's impossible. And I'm not expecting the families to be saying that about this man. But I am expecting me to say it. I am expecting me to say it. Because you can't have both. I do know that for a fact. And if something were to happen, they say, well, Patrick, I love this one because it stumped the minister. Well, what happens if somebody did something to Rita? I would be so wretched that every bit of just thinking about it makes me want to get on my knees and just weep with everything, just the idea of it. But I hope and I know that I have something that would pick me up. And I know that my family would pick me up. And I know that my love for Rita and what we stand for would live on. I have to know that. I have to know that, or I won't be able to sleep tonight. I won't be able to. And I would love to tell you that it is easy. Didn't we start out this month? Is how funny. We started this month about courage. And it said, what is courage? I have the courage to what? It takes courage to ... It takes courage to love. Someone said, define love, Patrick, because all of us are thinking that love is walking around sprinkling fairy dust. Michelle? Sprinkling dust and saying nothing really matters, you know. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That felt so wonderful because all is good. No, it says, well, that hurt. This hurts. Life can hurt us. Did I mention my purple bracelet? Oh. You know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you about something right here. I absolutely love life. And I'll tell you what I love about myself, because, you know, I hardly ever do talk about myself. I love the fact that I can breathe now before I react. That has been something I have been working on my entire life, actually. Because I can be sometimes defensive because I don't want to be hurt. I know nobody in this room has ever been there, but in case you have. And so what I have always wanted is to breathe before I react. And in this case in Pittsburgh, I have breathed before I reacted. And when I came out of my breath, I realized that I am love. And life is eternal. And those beautiful 11 people never died. They never died. And I said the other day when Etika left us in she went into an orb, I said this, Rita, someday we're only going to believe in life. And so when someone transitions, we're going to just know that life has made itself known again. And I believe that, and I don't really want to wait for it. Our relatives, our friends, they have not died. They're living right here, right now, and it's beautiful. So what I've decided to do to wrap this talk is to talk for another 45 minutes so that all of you can really feel the presence of, and see how this purple works. I love you. Fear or faith, man. And I also bless not only the way I can grieve, but I bless my humor that I have stayed away from for many years, thinking that it wasn't real, that it's fake to be this, to take humor into my life, that it's not real, that it's not authentic, that it's not transparent. That is BS, a belief system that I will never, ever, ever wrap myself around again. We need to laugh. We need to cry. We need all of that because it's all a part of life. I just love you. Oh, man. Yeah. Shalom.
Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. as me. And when I sing, God is. And when I dance, joy lifts my feet. And when I live, beauty is flowing freely in and out and through me as me. And when I doubt, God is the faith in me. When I cry, God is the comfort there. When I seek, God is the answer here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is, and where I work, love is my career. And when I play, God is playing boldly in and out and through me as me. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and move and breathe, be where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go. Where I pray and take and live and give. God is, God is, God is.
God is.
Thank you, Barbara, for that beautiful rendition of
Yeah,
Faith
very,
Rivera's
very
song.
perfect.
God is.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we have come to our time of giving. And we thank you in advance for the gifts that come to CSL Kauai, Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, as you allow us and this center to move out into the world and do our work and bring this message. And also, you are part of our tithing program because we tithe 10% out every month to different organizations and people that inspire us. So know that 10% of what you give is going back out. Okay, so we have an affirmation in our program that is right there for us to read together and to actually take it in with a deep breath and really understand what we're saying. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life and the world, and so it is. All right, I think we have a song.
I give thanks for life from my roots up to my crown. I give thanks for love that's within and all around. I give thanks for the rain, sacred waters of rebirth. I give thanks for the sun always shining on the earth. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you, you who shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you. Mahalo keakua, mahalo nui loa, mahalo kahonua, me ke kaima kama kane a me kahua. I give thanks for I am a conscious co-creator. I give thanks for I am my own liberator. I give thanks for you, you who shine so true. Aloha, I honor the divinity in you.
Oh, we honor the divinity that is flowing in and through each one of us as generosity, as gifts of love and support for this divine community called Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. I give thanks that as these blessings bless us, they bless the giver as well. In multiple ways, pressed down and overflowing, our good is coming in and through us to touch the world. Mahalo, and so it is.
Yay. I think we have some kids today.
We do.
Yay. Come on out.
do. And as they're marching up here, we're counting again this week. So after our board meeting on Tuesday, we're going to be doing some counting, aren't we, Michelle?
Yeah, and without counting, we have over $3,000 in the bank for our building
We
fund.
do.
I know. Yay.
Look who's here. Wait a minute.
Yay. Ruby and Lily and Beckham are back. Everybody's back. Hi, Malia. All right.
Yes, we're so excited to have the kids back from fall break. Does anybody want to share something about what we learned today? Are you willing, Ruby? Thank you. Okay.
So we touched our heads and felt how much heat we could feel on our heads. And then we practiced mirroring each other. And then we drew pictures of ourselves. Beckham, hold yours.
Yes, this is mine. I drew this all by myself with Ruby.
All right.
And Ruby, can you tell them what we drew around ourselves and what we were exploring, the big picture?
Our invisible life force. And Beckham has a very colorful invisible life force.
Okay, good. Cool. This sounds like a great lesson today. We all have you did the magnet lesson. Yeah. Yeah, she made her point with magnets. Okay, so let's give them our blessing. It's in your program if you don't remember it. You are amazing.
You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you.
Thank you. Yay. Let's. Okay, good. All right, thank you, Janice. That was Janice for us. Thank you, kids. So could I ask the practitioners to come forward that are serving today? Reverend Diane. Anyone else?
Venetia.
Miss Venetia here. Roseanne Jones. Stephanie Starrett. Michelle.
I'm sure she won't have that on while she's working with it. But one never knows. It makes it a little hard to speak.
Anyway, if something has come up for you or you're feeling that you would like to know more truth right now in this moment, these practitioners here will treat with you and do a spiritual mind treatment with you. So please come up and utilize them for any reason at all. All right. Yeah. So, and there is also a treatment box in the back if you prefer to write your treatment. Everything is confidential in the practitioner world. So, you don't have to worry about that.
And all the
Yes.
sign-up sheets are back there. And please look at go through the bookstore. There's a lot of great stuff in there. I know there's one Joe Dispenza book left that Rita ordered, but they're all they're going. So there's one left, I believe. Alrighty.
I think we're
I
good.
think we're ready.
Are we
You
good?
all ready?
Yeah. All right.
Let's get on our feet if you choose.
Today is the day will change my luck. I will find 3 pennies and they'll be heads up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen and everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. Today is the day I'll remember to see only good, only God happening through you and me. I will not forget all the treasures due me, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars, from the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen and everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life.
And yes, we are one with this thing called life. It moves and lives and breathes through us. And we have expressed that today perfectly in this service. I am so grateful for everything that has transpired here today, knowing that it is good and knowing that it has lifted the consciousness of this planet as we have celebrated here. I give great mahalo for everyone who made the service possible by serving today. Michelle, LeMay, the Malama team, Walt, Jackie, and Sue, and Diane, Reverend Diane, as practitioner today, thank you so much for your beautiful treatment and meditation. Rob for live streaming back there so wonderfully every Sunday. And Jonathan for holding the sound for us. Mahalo, mahalo to Peter and Arlena for the beautiful flowers. And for the ones that were left last week that are still blooming by Loya over there, Halloween flowers. And to Ron Stover and his beautiful team of hospitality, which were DJ today, right? I'm not sure who else, but we thank them all because it's an amazing, wonderful thing. And to Roseanne, who holds our bookstore, and to Janice, that was in the youth center today. Thank you, Janice. Thank you to the collection stewards who were Deb and Sue, thank you so much, and to everyone that served today. And Barbara, thank you for being with us today and blessing us with your talents. And Louise, for always keeping the beat of life for us. Thank you, thank you. I am so grateful. So I just take this word I've spoken with all its gratitude for each and every one of us, knowing that our lives move forward in the most perfect way now, unfolding just as they should for each of us. I bless it, I let it go, and I affirm, and so it is.
Today is the day I'll be more of myself, love my skin where I've been and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I come from. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life, yeah. From the known to unseen and everything in between, I am part of this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life. I am one with this thing called life.